The White House Chief of Staff, I think, is the toughest, most pressure-packed job that one can have. I was 29 years old. I felt 59.
The president makes the decisions. Your job is to keep him informed on a steady stream basis as to what's going on.
We've all had the experience of making the decision of whether to awaken the president at 3 o'clock in the morning, because the president doesn't get the phone call, you do.
He prayed about having the necessary wisdom and strength and fortitude to act appropriately in that case.
And the president said, well, what do you think, Ken? And I said, I think it's a hell of a speech. It's a hell of a paragraph. You're the president. You get to decide. But the State Department objects.
Tomorrow, President Reagan goes on to West Berlin, where he'll visit the Berlin Wall.
I was standing off on the side.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
I remember looking out in the audience of hundreds of thousands of people and having chills up and down my spine.
The president really empowered me to negotiate.
The American people expect us to be able to act like adults, to get in a room and talk in a civil manner, and to get something accomplished.
And those guys knew that when I said we got a deal on this point, that they didn't have to go back and ask the president or say, Erskine, will the president really do this?
Today is truly a historical day.
He really wanted to end that war, and he thought, finally, he said, if I don't run for re-election, I'll be free to do whatever I have to do in order to reach that peace settlement.
I shall not seek, and I will not accept the nomination of my party for another term as your president.
There is a danger for everybody who goes into the White House.
Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
And it is the danger of power. It is the danger of isolation.
I'll never forget, if I live to be a zillion, going back into his office to tell him what we had negotiated. We balanced the budget, brought down the debt, and yet we had invested $27 billion in health care for poor kids. You could have lit the room up with a smile on his face.
You are sitting next to the most powerful position in the world.
If people don't like you and love your boss, then you've done your job.